Now we here, now we here. Now we here, now we here. Now we here, now we here. Now we here, now we here.
Hello and welcome. I am Lane, a certified life coach and addiction recovery coach, here to teach you manifestation to manifest the life of your dreams. If you are new here, please check out the drop box below. I do offer one-on-one coaching services along with custom affirmations. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on TikTok. If you could do me the solid of hitting subscribe over here on this channel along with the bell icon, that way you're notified anytime that I post new videos. And if this video does inspire you or you learn something new or is helpful, let's push it out there in the algorithm by hitting that thumbs up button. Do me that favor. I'd really appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so we are going to dive into 4 signs that you are in the state of having your desire. But I do want to preference first that when we make a decision to be this new version of self, experiencing this manifestation and no longer trying to manifest it, being the one who has already done it, even though our 3D hasn't reflected it back to us, as soon as you make that decision, you are instantly in that reality. You may not feel any different. You might not feel any lighter or elevated emotions. You might not see a change in your physical reality. It doesn't matter. As soon as you make that decision, you are instantly in that state of consciousness. So I do want to preference that to begin with. And I also would like to add to the fact as well that we don't have to go looking for these signs. These signs are just indicators to help you know. And this is also based off of my own personal experience with manifestations and with my clients and what they've experienced in their manifestation journey as well. So you don't have to always experience all of these signs. There are plenty of manifestations where I literally just woke up one day and it manifested without experiencing any of this. But then there are other manifestations where I've experienced either all these signs and or a couple of these signs and it happened, right? So it depends where you are in your journey and it depends on the manifestation itself, okay? So I just want to preference all of that to begin with before we dive in. So now that we got that all out of the way and we understand that just because you may not be experiencing these signs does not mean that you're not in the state. Okay, you could be in the state. As soon as you make that decision, I'm in the state, instantly you are in the state. So keep that in mind. But if you are experiencing some of these signs, and this is a good indicator to say, hey, I'm in the state, and it's just more confirmation to know that I'm in the state. Okay, so I did write a little list. That way I can stay on track in this video because I blank out, guys. It happens sometimes. So one of the first things that I've noticed that when I am in the state is less affirmations, less the want to do techniques to keep me in that state. And the reason why this happens is because you already have fulfilled yourself enough that it's natural to think these thoughts. It's natural to have the visuals come to you. It's natural to be this new version of you. Okay? So you don't have to worry if, oh my God, I spent a day and I didn't even affirm it all. Or I fell asleep before I could visualize. Don't worry about it. That's actually a really good sign, right? You're not forcing anything. You're not trying to make anything happen. You're just living your life, which is what you should be doing if you already had your manifestation. You'd be living your life. You wouldn't be so caught up on, I gotta do this, thinking that it's the technique that gets me the manifestation. The technique just helps you get into that state to feel like you're that version of you. But manifestation is just as simple as making that decision to be that version of you. But the techniques help us believe that we are now. It's kind of like persuading us to believe. And it's fun to do. Let's be honest. It's fun to visualize our end with our specific person. It's fun to affirm or have the self-talk or the inner conversations that we are extremely wealthy. It's fun. It's playful. It's using our imagination. I know as a kid, I loved living in my imagination. Okay? And I still do that. I'm a daydreamer. That's just Okay, so have fun with it. Be playful with it. But it is a really good sign when you find yourself not wanting to do these things as much or at all. Okay. Again, there are certain manifestations where I didn't even realize I stopped my self-talk about it. It just became a very natural thing. Like, I don't need to affirm this thing because I already have it. Like, of course. It's like a duh kind of moment, right? So that is the first sign. You might notice that the techniques start to dim out and you just don't find the need or the want to really do them anymore. Very natural feeling. Okay, don't force yourself like, oh, to get in this state, I got to not want to do techniques, so I'm not going to do my technique today. It's a very natural thing. It just happens. Okay, so let's preface that. Okay, go on to the next thing. You might notice less desire for the desire. This makes total sense. Okay, this makes total sense. What is a desire? Desire is something that you have a burning passion to experience a particular thing or a person. It's coming from a place of, I don't have this thing, so I'm desiring to experience this thing. I need this thing. The feelings that I think that this desire is going to give me, I haven't given myself yet, so I'm desiring outside of me, right? That's all a desire is to want for something, to need for something, right? So it makes total sense that once we're in this state, and we're really embodying this new version of us, we're deciding that this is who we are, then it makes total sense that we no longer desire the desire because we've already given ourselves internally the desire, so now the desire has to manifest. You like that? Does that make sense though? When you stop desiring something, it means you already gave it to yourself enough times internally that you believe you're now this version of you. Right? It's kind of like when you're longing for your dream car, you finally have the money to go buy it, you go buy the car, it's sitting in your driveway. Are you desiring it anymore? No, because you just gave it to yourself. Or a better example, it's kind of like when you're craving, we'll say, chicken parm, and you go to the restaurant where they have delicious chicken parm. You know it's going to hit the spot. So you go to that restaurant, you place your order, the order comes out, sets on your table, you eat it, and you walk away full. Do you desire chicken parm? No. No, you go on to your next desire, right? So that's the second one, and it brings us into the third one. You will notice that you may start focusing on other desires and kind of put this one on the back burner because it feels like it's already done. So we'll stick with the restaurant or the cooking ideas, right? So say you are cooking something on the stove, it's already done, you're waiting for the sides to be wrapped up, so you put that main course meal on the back burner to keep it warm, right? While you cook other meals, while you cook like the vegetables or something that's quick, the instant rice, the sides to the meal. You put that main thing on the back burner, keep it warm, you know it's done, you know it's cooked all the way through, you're just the little side stuff. And what I mean by that is you'll notice that this big manifestation, there is no big, there is no little, but you'll notice that this big manifestation that you thought was so out of reach, you're extremely desiring it, and now you fulfilled yourself, you feel like internally you already have it, so you might notice your focus is going elsewhere because there's nothing more that you feel you need to do with this manifestation. It's only a matter of time that it's expressed in your 3D reality because you've given it to yourself internally enough. Right? So you'll go and focus on maybe money goals, maybe weight loss goals, whatever it is. You'll go focus on other things in your life and begin living other areas of your life. So say when you were manifesting a specific person, you felt really lonely, you pushed everyone away because you didn't feel like anybody would understand you. And now that you fulfilled yourself, you already feel like you have the manifestation, you start going out more. You start focusing again on other areas of your life. You want to increase your money. Be a better version of you, knowing that your specific person's going to come in and experience that better version of you, right? You start going out with friends again. Maybe you take yourself on a date. You start having fun in your life again, okay? Again, this is a real clear-cut indicator like, hey, these are the things I'd be doing if I had my manifestation physically in front of me. I'd be hanging out with my friends. I'd be doing these things. I'd be focusing on other areas of my life because this one, it's already manifested. So, duh. It's a clear-cut like, yeah, that means I'm that version, right? So then we'll go into the last and final one, which you guys probably have already seen videos on this, but we'll talk about it in this one because, again, it's a real clear-cut sign that you are in that state. And it's birds before land, the BBL, guys, the BBL. And the reason why this happens, if you don't know what BBL is, it's when the reflection of your internal world is starting to be shown to you, maybe not from the exact manifestation itself, but things similar to the manifestation. And Bashar calls it synchronicity. Things very similar to your manifestation are beginning to manifest in your 3D reality. The reason why this happens is because when we are in the wish fulfilled, even though the physical manifestation, the full thing of what you're actually desiring hasn't manifested yet, you are aligned to this new reality. Your beliefs are beginning to align to this new reality. You are now aligned to this new version of self. So you'll notice that your reality starts to transform to this new perception that you have been looking through. All right? So you might notice that if you're manifesting a specific person, other people getting in relationships. You might notice other relationships improving and becoming more loving, passionate, and like the kind of relationship you want to be in, right? You might notice that other people are finding themselves very drawn to you, very attracted to you, and speaking to you the way that you want your specific person to speak to you. Maybe if you're manifesting money, you might notice other people getting new jobs or promotions or raises. You might notice other people finding money or hitting the lottery, right? Again, these are all just signs and symbols to say my internal world is starting to project out. So if it's working with all of these other people, because they are me, there is no separation in my reality between everything in my reality. There is no separation. It's all me. Then that means my internal world is being projected out. So, of course, the full manifestation of the thing that I'm particularly, specifically desiring has to be projected out as well. So it's a really good thing. I will say, with BBL, we don't want to give it the meaning, and a lot of people give it the meaning, but that's not my full manifestation. That's not what I want. I don't want that guy. I want my specific person. Well, I don't care that they're getting in a relationship. Well, how come I'm not in a relationship? Well, that's awesome that that person manifested their specific person back, but where's my specific person? Instead of judging your 3D and looking like somebody has something that you don't, looking at it from the point of view of, but it's him, why can't I get my specific person? Or, yeah, it's cool that she wants me, but I want my specific person to want me. Instead of looking at everything through the eyes of envy or the eyes of I don't have what I want still, this still isn't good enough, look at it from the point of view of, ooh, if all of this is projecting out, then I know my manifestation has to be projected out. Because you're seeing movement. You're seeing how things are shifting and changing in your reality based on the new belief system and the new state that you have been occupying. So it makes sense. You're telling me when you're occupying love and you start seeing more love in your reality that that's not working on your specific person? Or if you're occupying the state of wealth and you see other people becoming wealthy, that you aren't elevating yourself to a wealthier timeline? Come on. Put the pieces together, guys. You got the Lego set in front of you. Piece by piece, you're building it. Okay? When we're building a Lego set, do you go straight to the final product, or you build it piece by piece and then it creates the final product, right? That cool Lego piece, whatever it is, right? Makes sense that you might see things orchestrating to match your vibration. And don't get caught up on the word vibration. Your timeline, your new belief system. It makes sense that it's starting to match you. Okay? Because their signs follow, they do not proceed. So you can't see this stuff or even perceive this stuff in your reality until you're in that state. That doesn't mean that this hasn't existed. You just weren't able to see it before because your filtration system was focusing on all of the things that you don't have. Now that you are in the state of love or the state of wealth or the state of health, whatever it is that you're manifesting, you're able to change your perception, your filtration system. So now you can see these things. So this is really, really, really good. Okay? So that breaks down the 4 signs to let you know that you are in that state of consciousness. And don't panic if you're not experiencing any of these signs. Like I said, there's some manifestations where I have, there's some manifestations where I haven't. But yes, it is as simple as just making that decision that I am now this version of me in this state, and that's all that you have to do. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button for me. That way it can get pushed out to other people. Subscribe and hit that bell notification. Again, we already went over this in the beginning of the video, so do me that favor. And as always, guys, thank you for being here. You got this.
Hey, bottom, hey, now we here. Hey, bottom, hey, now we here. Hey, bottom,